Ever since The Last of Us Part 2 released, a lot of people have been wondering what they are going to do with Joel moving forward. It seems weird to have a Last of Us game without Joel, and so people have had different theories as to what might happen, but ever since I played that second game, what everybody I feel like has been wanting to see is actually a Tommy and Joel prequel. I thought for sure that at some point we would see some form of it, that it felt like there was so many hints towards it in the second game and even in the first game that it really felt like we were going to get it. And so I still have this feeling that the Tommy and Joel prequel of what happened before the events of The Last of Us is going to happen, and I've got a few different theories as to where it might pop up, and so I wanted to dive into it with you guys and chat about the potential story of having a Joel Tommy-esque type of prequel game. So let's dive into it. So first off, and I think this is the least likely form that we're going to get it, sadly, is DLC. That I thought for the longest time that the DLC for Part 2 would be the Joel and Tommy kind of prequel segment. That I thought, just like how they had Ellie's story before the first game in the DLC for the first game, I thought for sure that they were going to do a DLC with Joel and Tommy, that you would be able to see them in their environment before and kind of what happened, especially because Tommy played such a pivotal role in that second game. I really thought it would be a cool aspect to see his journey with his brother in that DLC. But sadly, with The Last of Us Part 2 remaster coming out, I feel like that dream has now died, that there's no way that we're getting a story-based DLC for Part 2 at all. And so I don't think it'll pop up there. I think that ship has sailed, and so there's two other areas where I think it's possible this thing could pop up. So the second one, and I think it's the most likely option, is that they will save it for Part 3. That I think you will get flashbacks from Tommy, or just flashbacks in general, seeing Joel and Tommy on that journey, whether it's him telling Ellie about it or something. That I feel like to have a Last of Us game without Joel's presence would be really strange and a huge miss. That I think Joel will show up in some way, whether it's through dream sequences with Ellie where you're able to play through, I don't know, experiencing Joel and her talking to him about what's going on in the third game, or what I think is more likely, and the thing I hope to see, is some Joel and Tommy playable segments where you actually get flashbacks as to what happened before. That I think it's probably the most likely scenario that we will be able to see that in Part 3 when it releases. But there's one other format that I hope they do, and that out of all the formats, I actually really hope that this is the route they take. And so the last format that I hope that this actually comes out on is a prequel. That I actually hope that Naughty Dog works on a prequel game and gives us a different story with Joel and Tommy specifically, and just that journey. That I think that would be such a cool experience, and so many fans would rush to the stores to buy that Naughty Dog is kind of stupid to not do it. They did it for Uncharted and gave Uncharted a kind of one-off game that was really well done and that I really enjoyed. And so I could totally see them doing this like spin-off, one-off story with Joel and Tommy, and seeing what that whole journey was from Sarah to him ending up with Tess. I think that would be really cool, and I think it's honestly something fans would want to see, and it would be awesome to get a full-fledged game from it, not just a little tiny DLC where you get a few hours in that story, not just some flashbacks in Part 3, but actually give it its own 15-hour story. I think that could be something really special, and I think that even the Part 2 haters would come out of their caves to play that game, because like it or not, as much as I love Ellie, Joel is still like the majority of people's favorite character, and I think to miss an opportunity like that would be too bad. And I think too, with Tommy being left, and obviously I think going to play a big part in Part 3, I think it would help broaden out his character even more. And so I really hope they do it, and if they do it, I hope they actually give us a full-fledged game. But with that being said, I want to know what you guys think. So head down to the comment section down below and let me know your thoughts. When you played part 2, did you think that they were going to release a Joel and Tommy DLC? Does the idea of a Joel and Tommy game or segments in a game excite you? Is that something you want to see? Do you want a full-fledged spin-off game like I do? Let's have the conversation in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that junk, and I will see you guys in the next one.